Hi, this is the third video in the playlist where we're looking at a question on iteration. It's fairly straightforward. It's just going to take a little bit of time to actually work through. So the first part of it is we're going to complete the table of values for that. So what we're saying is that we've got just 3 that we need to complete when x is -2, -1 and when x is 2. Probably the easiest way of doing that, so just move down to the screen and give myself a little bit of space, as I'm going to say when x equals -2. Well, when x equals -2, y equals x cubed minus 5x minus 8. And then really we've got to take this value of -2 and plug it in. So I'm going to get -2 cubed minus 5 times -2 minus 8. Okay, so if I do all of that, I should get then a value of -2 cubed is going to be -8. Minus 5 times +2 is, minus 5 times -2 is plus 10, and then -8 at the bottom. So that's going to give me a value of y of -6. Okay, hopefully that's okay for you. I appreciate my writing is quite small at this particular time. It's only because we've got quite a lot of information to push into this piece of paper. Okay, so I'm going to say that when x is -2, y is going to be -6. And then we're going to do the same with -1. So if I just sort of create a little bit of space there, x equals -1, I'm going to do exactly the same again. I'm going to say, well, y must equal -1 cubed minus 5 times -1 minus 8. Okay, so -1 cubed is going to be still -1, because -1 times -1 times -1 is still -1. Okay, and then I've got -5 times -1. Well, that's going to give me +5, because a minus times a minus is a plus. And then I've got -8 at the end. Okay, so -1 plus 5 is going to give me +4, and then -8 is going to give me -4. Okay, so now when x equals -1 at the top here, y must equal -4. Okay, so let's have a look at the final one then, which is when x equals 2. Okay, so when x equals 2, it's generally speaking a little bit easier to deal with positive numbers, so that's going to be 2 cubed minus 5 times 2 minus 8. Okay, so again, work that out. 2 cubed is going to give me 8. Minus 10 minus 8 again. So 8 minus 10 is going to be -2, and then minus 8 again is going to give me -10. Okay, so my final piece of information is -10. Okay. And then it says, on the grid, draw the graph. All right, now, hopefully you'll be able to see this on the particular graph itself. Okay, you can go to my website, you can print off this particular question sheet if you want to, or you can have a go at sketching it. But what you will notice is that it goes up in 2s, and then it goes along in 1s, unit of 1. So just be a little bit careful with that. But basically all we're saying is we need to plot the table that we've got. So -3 minus 20 is going to be down here somewhere. And then I've got -2, 6 is going to be here. And I've got -1 minus 4 about there. Okay, 0 minus 8 is going to drop down again. Now the reason this is happening is because it's a cubic graph. Okay, so you should be able to see the fairly classic cubic graph shape that you tend to get. So 1 minus 12 is down here. Okay, so we've gone up and then down, and then we're going to have 2 minus 10, so it's going to come back up again. Okay, and then finally it's all the way up here somewhere. Okay, 3, 4. All right, so when I actually join all of those together, what I'm going to get, now this is going to be awful because it's actually on the video, but I'll do my best shot because I'm sort of not working particularly easily here, but it's going to go up like that. Missed out there. It's going to go up like that, curve around, come down. Okay, and then it's going to go there, and then it's going to go up through that and up like that somehow. Okay, so hopefully that's okay for you, because you will need that bit of information to be able to answer the next bit of the formula, next bit of the question rather. Or rather the last bit of the formula. So then it says, C, show that when f of x, the equation of that can be arranged to give you that. All right, well, that's really straightforward because we've been doing that in the other couple of videos. Okay, so exactly as it says there, I'm going to say rather than f of x, I'm going to write 0. So in part C here, okay, I've got 0 equals x cubed minus 5x minus 8. Okay, so I need to make it look like this. Now, again, as I mentioned in the previous videos, because there's a cube root, we've got to use this particular value of x. Okay, so we're going to make this particular value of x the subject. Okay, because we know we need to cube it at the end. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 8 to both sides, so I'm going to get 8 equals x cubed minus 5x, okay, and then I'm going to add 5x to both sides, so I get plus 5x to both sides, okay, so that's going to give me 5x plus 8 equals x cubed, okay, and then I'm going to cube root it, as I mentioned before, so therefore x equals the cube root of 5x plus 8. Okay, and that will give me the answer to part C. Okay, now part D is where it does get just a little bit more interesting, because in the other videos we've been given a starting point, and what it has said is something along the lines of when x0 equals minus 2.4 or something like that, if you look in video number 2. In this particular case, it just simply says use the iterative formula of that to find the real root of f of x correct to 3dp. Okay, so what is happening here is that we're using progressively more detailed approximations of x in order to get the root. And as you know, the root is actually this bit here. It's where it actually crosses the x-axis. Okay, so in this particular case, actually we can start from 2 and then we can get progressively more accurate to get that point there correct to 3 decimal places. Now, I think in this particular case, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn the page over and write on the back of the page because we've unfortunately run out of space on this, but hopefully it'll give you the idea that the root is all about where it crosses the x-axis. Now, at the moment, we know it's going to be somewhere 2 and maybe a half. You could theoretically start at 2.5 if you wanted to. I'm just going to start with x0 is equal to 2. So let's have a look at that. So x0 is equal to 2. Okay. And then I'm going to progressively take these values and put them into the formula, or the iterative formula. So x1 is going to be the cube root of 5 times 2 plus 8. Okay, and that's going to give me a value of 2.620741344. Okay, and hopefully you can see that actually it's closest to 2.5. You could have started with 2.5 if you wanted to. It wouldn't have really made much of a difference. Okay, so x of 2. Now, just in the interest of time, I won't write all that out, but hopefully you can just to confirm, actually, I'm going to use the answer key of the calculator, and that's going to give me now 2.76345 ... Okay, x of 3 is going to give me all of that, but I'm going to use this as the answer in there, and that's going to give me 2.79426 ... Okay, x of 4 is going to be equal to Fairly tedious questions, these. 2.80082 dot dot dot. Okay, and what I'm looking for really is the point at which we need this to 3 decimal places, where to 3 decimal places it's going to be the same. Now, unfortunately, it just requires a fair bit of writing. So x of 5 is going to be 2.80221 dot dot dot. Okay, x of 6. Okay. Oh my gosh, so boring. Okay, x of 6 is going to be equal to 2.8025091. Now, actually, I'm getting to the point, I think, where hopefully you can see 2.802, 2.802. The problem is, to 3 decimal places, that now becomes a 3. So it's actually not quite there at the moment. And I need to just check that. So x of 7 is going to be equal to 2.8025718 dot dot dot. Okay, well that's looking much more promising now. I'm just going to check that with x of 8, and that's going to be equal to 2.80258 something or other. Okay, no problem. So hopefully you can see now, to 3 decimal places, all of these numbers, and don't fall over at the last hurdle, because all of those numbers rounded to 3 decimal places will give you a value of x equals 2.803. Okay, so the answers to the final question here will be: use the iterative formula to find the real root of f of x correct to 3 decimal places. Well, that's going to be, put it in here, so D is going to be 2.803 correct to 3 decimal places. Okay, I hope that's been okay for you. Fairly long video, mainly because there's an awful lot of writing out in these sorts of questions. Please do add a comment below if you're not sure about anything. I'll always come back to you, and I look forward to seeing you inside the next video.